What is up, YouTube? It is me, xole. I am back with another how to sound like video. So if you are new to this channel, I make a lot of how to sound like videos. I have a playlist. You should check it out. You might find an artist that you like on there that I've already done. But the way that I get suggestions for artists is through y'all's comments. So I have like a little spreadsheet where I keep track of every single artist suggested on this channel and how many times they're suggested. So just recently, WALLOWS has been requested a bunch, and it became the #1 most requested artist on this channel. I don't always choose the most suggested artist, but in this instance, I did. So in this video, I'm gonna be walking y'all through a beat that I made, like the WALLOWS, WALLOWS. And I'm going to be talking about how I mixed my vocals to sound like WALLOWS. Alright, so yeah, let's just hop right into this video. Let me give y'all a little teaser of the song that I'm making before I show y'all this sneak peek. In these how to sound like videos, I am using Ableton MIDI instruments. I'm not using real instruments. So if y'all have Ableton, y'all can follow along pretty similarly because I'm using Ableton's built-in MIDI instruments that y'all have, and I'm also using Ableton's built-in audio effects that y'all have. So if y'all have Ableton, y'all can follow along really closely. And another warning, my voice, it's just not that good. So keep in mind when you're listening to this trailer that in this video I'm showing y'all the audio effects that y'all can use to make your vocals sound a little bit more like WALLOWS. And I hope y'all do a better job than I do because, you know, I can't really get that WALLOWS feel because I'm just not a good singer. So, yeah, here's the sneak peek of what I am going to be teaching y'all how to make.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you. Don't know why I tried to hide my kind with you, with you, with you, with you. Are you coming? She asked as she left the door. I'm here with you. There's no need she left the door. I'm here with you. There's no need to ask for more. Every time she comes around, it feels like I've been waiting my.
Alright, so the first thing that I did for the song is I set the BPM to 145 because I knew I wanted a faster paced song. WALLOWS definitely, they like to have, you know, some energy in their songs. I mean, obviously there's some slower songs, but they have a lot of like pretty powerful fast paced songs. So I set the BPM to 145. And then the first thing that I did is I threw in this floating keys. Ableton instrument, go to your instruments, instrument rack. I think it's a piano and keys. Okay, it's not. It might be a synth key. Yes, it is a synth key. WALLOWS definitely likes to use their synths. I really like how they structure their songs off of synths. I mean, they obviously have some like pretty heavy acoustic songs with guitars and stuff, but they do like to use their synths. So I threw in this floating keys and I played these chords. It sounds a little bit like These Days, which is one of WALLOWS' most famous songs. So this is what our synth sounds like. Let me show you the chords, if I can find them. There we go. And that is just going to be repeating throughout the song. So if you zoom in, you can see that I kind of like stammered the notes. I did that for every single note, and it definitely gives more of a live feel. But on top of that, to give it even more of a lively feel, you can see that the notes, like, they're different colored. They're colored differently. And that's because I moved some of their velocities down and up, and I kind of gave them like varied velocity. I'm going to do Control A to select all the notes. So originally they were like this, the same velocity, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more of a lively feel. It's almost unnoticeable, but it definitely adds a little touch. Alright, these chords start off the song, and then we get into this little, like, it's like a verse, I guess, we can call it that. I'm going to set a little marker. I'm going to right click over here, add locator, we're going to say verse 1. So we get into verse 1. The first thing that I introduce is an electric bass drive. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I use this bass on a lot of my songs. A lot of my songs. And I just really like it. It has a lively bass feel. Sounds like a bass guitar. Obviously, it's not going to sound exactly like a bass guitar because it's MIDI. I throw this electric bass drive, and it's just playing this pretty simple bass riff. There we go, we got a bass and our chords. And then just to support the verse, I throw in these little arpeggiated notes with 2 pads, I believe. So this one is the Arithmoquin pad. Don't know how to say that. I know you're probably thinking, this pad sounds awful. And it does, but you can barely hear it in the mix, so it doesn't really add, like, you know, that bad of a sound to the song. And when it's paired with the Cars in the 80s pad, sounds pretty nice. So there we go. Those are our pads that are supporting the verse. So let's just give a listen to this first verse with the bass and the pads. And then we get into this little, like, pre-chorus area, I guess you could call it. And it's just kind of spacing out the song, getting the listener ready for the chorus. And then we get into the chorus. So that snare that you just heard, that is my xole power snare. So I'm going to be releasing another sound pack pretty soon. And this is just a really good, like, bedroom poppy snare. So I'm going to be throwing that in my next sound pack. The link will be somewhere when I end up releasing that sound pack. Definitely check it out. So we have the power snare. On top of that, let's just talk about the drums. On top of that, we have my xole Happy Hats, which I'm a huge fan of these hi-hats. So on top of that, I throw in this xole wide hat, and this is also going to be going into my next sound pack. I'm really excited for dropping that. And then we're gonna throw our kick in. And then we're going to throw in our clash. I wanted to make the chorus, you know, different than the verses and have some different instruments, so I threw in this Suburban. It's just called Suburban. I just have some chorus on top of it. I widen the sound, and then I throw in some reverb on top of that, and then I lower the dBs just to have it sit well in the mix and not overtake the chorus. So this is the melody that I'm playing. Alright, there we go. There is our chorus and our first verse. So the second verse isn't much different than the first verse, but I am throwing in these claps, and they are my xole long claps. I didn't want to have snares on the second verse. I wanted to throw in a different drum because Wallows, they definitely like their claps. They like to throw them in their songs. They like to throw claps in their songs. So I threw some claps in. Instead of just having my claps like this, which doesn't sound that bad, I ended up grouping these claps. So one clap is panned 12 to the right, and then one clap is panned 11 to the left. So the claps are going to be on either side of your ears, and then on top of that, I move the claps to space them out because I don't want them both right here, because if they're both like on the same spot and they're panned differently, it's not going to really feel like they're panned. And then I throw on some reverb and I EQ them to bring those highs a little bit up. And then we get back into our chorus over here. Alright guys, there's our Wallows beat. Let's talk about the vocals. So whenever you're recording vocals over a beat that you made, and it has like a bunch of tracks in it, I highly suggest you selecting your beats and then exporting it, and then you have the audio file of just the beat, and then I suggest you opening up a new project and keeping the BPM the same. So once you open up the new project, if your beat was at 145, switch the BPM to 145 before you throw in the audio. So open up a new live set and then throw the beat in a track, and then you just have one track for the beat and you don't have 20 different tracks all having different audio effects and just overtaking your CPU and making your Ableton glitch out. Nobody likes glitchy Abletons. Alright, here we are. So we have our one audio track up here, just it has the beat, which is what we want. The BPM is the same. There we go, looking great. Let's talk about our main vocals first. I'm gonna turn those off for now. We're just gonna focus on these main vocals right here. I'm just gonna turn off all of these audio effects. I'm actually gonna leave the limiter on. If you listen to Wallows, you know that they like distortion on their vocals. A lot of times they have like tape delay distortion on their vocals and it sounds really nice. So I tried to replicate that in this song. So let me just walk you through that. So here's my xole vocal template. I walk you through this exact template in my How to Mix Your Vocals video. Highly suggest you go check that out. I literally walk through every single audio effect in this template, and I just throw this template on whenever I'm recording vocals, and I can tweak the parameters to make them match the song, and it's super easy. So I'm going to turn the template on. Obviously, we have auto-tune on because I'm not a singer, So we definitely need that on. And then we get into the xole vocal template. So I'm going to turn off all of these audio effects. So the first audio effect that we have is this low cut. It's taking out the lows in our vocals. Let's give the vocals a listen.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you. Don't know why I tried to hide my kite with you, with you.
There we go. And then we're going to throw on this peak compression, just going to boost our vocals.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true.
Let's give a listen with the beat.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you.
So obviously you can barely hear the vocals, and that's because we don't have a lot of audio effects on there. We need to keep throwing some more audio effects to boost up that volume without sacrificing the quality. So the next thing is this EQ, where I'm taking out some bad frequencies in this song. So around 500 hertz and then around 2.75 kilohertz, if that's what that is, kilohertz, I think, yeah. So I don't like those frequencies, so I lowered them. Yeah, so that's what I did.
I guess I really got this.
It's probably not very noticeable. But then I throw on this glue compression. Alright, next thing, I'm taking off a little bit of these highs because I don't like those super tinny highs in the vocals. So I'm going to be lowering those. This is a de-esser, so whenever I hit my S's, like, I guess I really got this far. I say a lot of S's in that. So let's solo it without the de-esser.
I guess I really got this far.
You notice how those S's really kind of like attack you? You turn on the de-esser.
I guess I really got this far.
Those S's aren't really attacking you anymore, which is great. Alright, next up is we have this effect rack. So whenever the vocals hit the audio effect rack, it's going to hit all of these chains all at once, which is what we want when we're throwing on reverb. So we have this dry chain, which is nothing. It's just our regular vocals.
I guess I really got this far.
There we go. And now we're going to add some volume. So we're going to add these two chains, one with a regular compressor, one with a glue compressor, and these are going to be boosting our vocals.
I guess I really got this far.
There we go. Now let's throw on the reverb. One a little bit to the left and one a little bit to the right.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you.
Now we're going to throw on some quick delay, which the Wallows like a lot. They like some delay in their vocals.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you.
There we go. Like it a lot. And then I'm going to throw on this last EQ to take out some of those lows that were artificially produced from these audio effects. So there is our xole vocal template. Let's turn it off, give a listen to the vocals, and then we'll turn it on and you'll see the difference that this template makes.
I guess I really got this far.
Throw it on.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you.
There we go. So the vocals are sounding really good, but I wanted that like distortion sound that Wallows likes to throw in their vocals somehow. So I threw in a third-party plugin called RC20 Retro Color. Y'all probably heard about this plugin, and I threw it before the template. As you can see, I threw on some 2-pair distortion, and that's going to give us that like Wallows feel. And then I threw on some digital distortion, and this is like kind of sine, so it's going to give us like a digital little tingle. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why I said tingle. But, I mean, it gives us a little bit more distortion on top of that.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you.
There we go. So there's a little bit of distortion before the template. And then I'm going to throw on a little bit of distortion after the template with this overdrive, which is a Ableton audio effect. A really good audio effect to add distortion. So now with our overdrive and our RC20,
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you. Don't know why I tried to hide my kite with you, with you.
So on top of these vocals, I'm going to be layering some more vocals. So I'm doubling the vocals. I'm going to be saying the same line 2 more times. So let's give a listen to this one.
I guess I really got this far. I guess I really got this far.
There we go. So both of them together.
I guess I really got this far.
So now with our main vocals.
I guess I really got this far.
So it sounds good, but it sounds a little like muddy. It sounds like they're all clashing against each other. So the way to solve that is I'm going to move this one a little bit to the left by throwing on a utility, actually a lot to the left, all the way to the left. So I'm going to throw on this utility and move it all the way to the left. And then on this one, I'm going to throw on a utility and move it all the way to the right. So now let's give a listen to all 3 of these lines.
I guess I really got this far. Don't know why I tried to hide my cards.
So there we go. There are our backing vocals for the verse. So this line I have the dual backing. This line I have the dual backing as well. But these 2 parts I just have another backing track. And this one is stuck in the middle. Actually, I think I have some auto pan. Yeah, I have some auto pan. So this one's going to be moving left to right, and this one is distorted as well, just like my main vocal. So let's give a listen to these backing vocals.
But it's true with you, with you, with you.
So those are distorted as well. Let's give a listen to all of these vocals now.
I guess I really got this far, but it's true with you. Don't know why I tried to hide my card with you, with you, with you, with you.
Alright, so after the first verse, we get into our chorus. So I have another group for our chorus vocals. And the reason I do that is because I don't want the chorus to sound distorted. I only want the verses to sound distorted. So if we go over here, we just have the xole vocal template and then some auto-tune. So it's basically like these vocals, but without the retro color and the overdrive. So they aren't distorted. So there's our chorus. Let's give a listen with the beats.
With you. Are you coming? She asked as she left the door. I'm here with you. There's no need to ask for more.
Thank you for watching this video to the end. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I've been recording for 50 minutes. So it's probably going to be a long one. So thank you so much for sticking it out to the very end. If you could hit that sub button if you haven't already. I make a lot of videos like this. Drop a like. Comment down below another artist that you want to see me cover next. And I might choose your artist. Yeah. Peace.
Every time she comes around, it